Ba-da-bum-bum. Good evening. Welcome to Studio 10 Talks. I am Patrick Cassidy. I'm the artistic director for Studio 10. I can't get over it. Every time I look at that opening, I sit and marvel at the amazing talent that has done this show. It blows my mind. It just blows my mind, including this evening. Let's get right to it because we have so much to cover tonight. By get to it, I'm going to bring on our producer, the incredible, the talented, the infamous Miss Julie Garnier.
Infamous? What did I do?
Infamous. You're like Wonder Woman. You're that's infamous. You know, you have legacy.
Wow.
Hi, Jules.
Those are big words, Patrick. Hi, how are you?
I went to the dictionary right before we started the show. How was your week?
My week was great. I attended the wedding of the year in Palm Springs.
Really?
It was fabulous.
I'm sure you sang at it, yeah?
I did sing at it. I actually sang a show tune.
Which
it was one of the most beautiful weddings in the world that I've ever been to. It was stunning. I don't know if you remember, there's a gentleman that used to host things a lot in New York City. He now lives here in California. His name is Scott Nevins. And we were roommates in New York for many years, and he got married this weekend.
Oh, great. And what did you sang? You said you sang a show tune from?
I sang from Candide.
Oh.
I sang Make Our Garden Grow as the bridal party walked down the aisle.
Easy stuff. That's good stuff.
It was really beautiful, and I'm just really happy for them. So congratulations, Scott and Philip.
Congratulations, Scott and Philip. You've made the show. Tell me about. Let's actually tell our audience what's going on with Studio 10.
Sure.
So we have a huge fundraiser. Our biggest fundraiser of the year, one night only, Broadway's Big Top, this Saturday, April 9th at 6:30. It's going to be incredible, Julie. I can't wait. It's Broadway performers, it's circus acts, it's fused together. It is going to be gospel, and I mean, I can't wait. It's going to be the most amazing event, and so we've sold that. And then, of course, Phil McKinley, who directed Boy from Oz on Broadway, is coming to direct Camelot on May 5th through the 15th. It is going to be amazing at the Jameson Theater. It will be our last show of this season, which is, we know, in the sort of what's happening season, the COVID or whatever season, but it's been great, and we're back up and we're moving along. Do you have any news, Broadway news at all?
You know what? I want to talk about something that's really interesting that I'm finding really fascinating, which is I want to talk about the Grammys last night.
Yeah.
Because the unofficial Bridgerton musical won the Grammy for Best Musical Theater Album last night.
Wait. Did you say Bridgerton? My wife has been trying to get me to watch that series. Now it's a musical?
Well, so what happened was Abigail Barlow jumped onto TikTok during the pandemic after Bridgerton aired and asked the world, what if Bridgerton was a musical? And she had been having some writer's block. She's a songwriter. Okay. And she wrote a song off the cuff in real time on TikTok. And then she started pairing up with Emily Bear, another composer, songwriter, and they created 15 songs in 6 weeks live in real time on TikTok and created an album from that. And it's beat out The Girl from North Country. It beat out Stephen Schwartz. It beat out Andrew Lloyd Webber with Cinderella.
Oh my God.
It won the Grammy last night for Best Musical Theater Album.
You know what this means?
Shocking.
Do you have any idea what this means? This means that I have to watch the show on Netflix with my wife now.
It does. Now you're going to have to watch it. Sorry about it.
It sounds like kind of like Contact, when Contact opened on Broadway and everybody didn't think it was a musical and it won Best Musical.
Oh, wow.
You remember?
Yeah, a little bit like that, except for Contact was a musical.
That's exactly right. Well, anyway.
Actually, a thing.
I'll be sure to watch Bridgerton the musical, but Bridgerton the series before. We have an incredible guest. Shall we get to it?
Yeah. Can I just say one more thing real quick?
Yes, you can.
So we want to keep our lights on, and we are very, very happy to keep bringing our wonderful audience this kind of content. But we could use some donations to keep this going. So if you have your cell phone, turn on your camera. And if you want to click on that QR code right there, you can donate directly to Studio 10 Talks. All the money will go straight to making sure that we continue to provide you with the best Broadway content that we can. So
That's awesome.
That's
awesome.
what I've got.
Please donate. Please donate. It's why we're here. It's why we're going to continue to be here because of you. It's awesome. Jules, I'll see you in a little bit.
Sounds good. Bye. Have fun.
Chris Sieber is our guest today. He is incredible. All you're going to see. He is best known on stage as Lord Farquaad in Shrek the Musical and Sir Dennis Galahad in Spamalot, the two roles for which he was nominated for a Tony Award for Best Featured Actor in a Musical, and on screen as Kevin Burke in Two of a Kind, and for finally, and I mean finally, appearing on Law & Order. We're going to talk about all that. He has been on Broadway for more than 20 years in 12 Broadway shows, including his Broadway debut, Beauty and the Beast, Chicago, Triumph of Love, Thoroughly Modern Millie, Into the Woods, Spamalot, Shrek the Musical, La Cage aux Folles, Matilda the Musical, Pippin, The Prom, and currently he is starring on Broadway as Harry in Stephen Sondheim's Company. You're always sorry, you're always grateful. Please welcome Mr. Chris Sieber.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Patrick.
Hi, Christopher.
Hi. I was watching your intro as well. That's a lot of people that you've talked to, and I'm very honored to be here with this.
Oh my God!
And I know all of them too.
I know you do. You've worked with all of them. I'm sure. Probably met more than once. And by the way, that's how this whole thing evolved. I just started calling people on my cell phone, of which you're on as well, and literally said, "Hey, can you help me during this little pandemic? Will you help my theater company?" And they all said beautifully yes, and gave of their time and their talent. Which, I have to say this right off the bat to our eyes, because we found out during our little warm up, you are out of your show right now because of
the COVID fairy got me. Yeah, I mean, the Tooth Fairy, at least she gives you money, and the COVID Fairy, just yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. I've been so careful about staying away and masking and vaccinations and protocols and everything, and it just finally got me. But it also got a bunch of people in our show, so we've had the unprecedented thing in our show. We've had an amazing record of no one being out because of our protocols and our fantastic COVID team. And 8 of us got it this week. And
oh my God.
Yeah. And so there's almost all of the male principals. My Jennifer Samard, who plays my wife, and Katrina Lenk, almost all on the same day. There was Tuesday, then mine was Wednesday. The dominoes just fell. So
I can't believe that you're here. Thank you for still doing the show. And how do you feel?
You know what, the good thing is, I'm on the upswing, definitely. Yesterday, was it yesterday? I don't know. It all kind of goes together. I haven't been doing anything since Tuesday night. So, Wednesday was okay. And then Thursday I got a little, and then Friday I had no voice at all, so you can kind of hear it still in my voice.
Right.
But I had a cough and I had the headaches and the aches, and now I don't have anything except the voice, and it is kind of scratchy, and every now and then I cough. But for the most part, I'm on the other end of it, and you
are amazing. Thank you for being here. I'm happy that you're getting better and you're on the mend, and I know all of them will be back, and then you guys will be the COVID having had it now free.
Yeah, I mean, we won't. Some of the cast had already had it, and they've been out. They were out back in right after Christmas,
right?
But for the most part, we've been safe. So,
and I know all of you were really careful, because I told you, when you were on the show last month with Harvey, I came to see the show, and I was texting Patty. And Patty said, "Doll, I'll wave to you from the stage. I can't see you afterwards. I'm going home." Yeah. So Chris, I have so much I want to talk about with you, about your career and about you. But we're going to do something that we've never done on the show. We're doing it just for Christopher Sieber.
Okay.
We play games on this show.
Okay, I like it.
So we've created a game.
Okay.
Purely for you. I'm
Okay.
going to put it up on the screen. Here's the game. It's called All the Parts I Should Have Played That You Got. All the parts
Is that you got or I got?
No, that you got. All the parts I should have played that you got.
Oh, I see. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me name.
This game is going to kind of continue as we go through your career. We're just going to talk about all the parts that I should have played that you got. You were born. Christopher Laverne. Sieber.
Laverne.
Yes. Can you? There you go.
Oh, look at that.
So,
Okay, so that's my dad, my mom, my older brother Mike. If you're looking at your screen, it's on the far left there. That's Mike. He's my older brother. Mark is my youngest brother, right there, my mom, and that's me in the bluish shirt. Obviously, trying to get out of my dad's grasp, and do some shows.
Julie, can you put that picture back up for 1 second? You look like a complete combination of your mom and dad. You look like your dad, but you have your mom's smile.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Actually, all three of us, all three boys. I always call it. I'm nothing like my brothers, except that we look exactly alike. I mean, we look like triplets now, except I'm a lot thinner than they are. But we look like triplets. We really do. And
so you're a middle child of
yes.
three boys, like I am.
Yeah.
Or were you the peacemaker?
Oh God, still to this day. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. I know. Yep. I get it. Middle kids.
Yeah, the peacemaker, and like, look at me.
Yeah. Sean would say to me, "It's nobody wants me." He's the nobody wants me kid.
That's hilarious.
Oh, so I believe you were. Okay, I hope you'll find. I believe you were about 7 years old or something when you wrote and performed many shows in your parents' living room, including, and here it comes, the title, The Christopher Sieber Comedy Cavalcade of 1976, and Mom, Watch Me.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Terrific shows.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, I didn't even know what I was doing, but I knew I'd like to put on shows, and my parents had this great picture window in the front of their house that was almost floor to ceiling. And they had a curtain that would go from ceiling to floor, and then it would open like that and then almost drape up. And it looked like a theater curtain. And so I would do, my brother Mark, my younger brother Mark would, I'd ask him, he was only like 5. And I just make sure you put the record down. I showed him how to put the record down. And he was my stage manager, and I'd lip sync to Neil Diamond and Dinah Washington and Fiddler on the Roof and things. But the shows were only about as long as a song. But the front lawn was basically my audience, and I think I put it in a bio somewhere that the neighbors driving by had no idea that they were my audience, but they were unsuspecting audience members of my show. But I would put on shows, and my parents would, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing a show. Do you have tickets?" And my younger brother Mark
was on box office manager.
I had, yeah. And Mark would go and like, give me your tickets. And they, we don't have tickets. And I'm like, all right, come on in. And I'd do a show for them, and they'd go, uh-huh. But and I was not, I just danced around and did this.
Are you the only, Chris, are you the only performer in your family?
Yes. That's why
I ask this all the time. I'm blown away. I always want to know about kids that get to your level of success, that become very successful at this, when they're the only member, because it's the complete antithesis in my house.
You're right, I know.
Yeah. So, but I'm fascinated with kids that become a performer and become successful when they had nobody as a role model.
None.
You know what I mean?
None. Yeah, I mean, I put on shows, and like I said, I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew that I liked to do it. And and my hometown is Wyoming, Minnesota, and it is a population. When we moved in, it was a population 642 people. And it always makes me giggle when people say, "Yeah, I came from a really small town of 20,000." I'm like, "Yeah, you're just no idea." Like, I knew Everybody knew me. We knew everybody's dog. We knew whose car just passed by. It was crazy.
Right.
So there's no creative outlet in such a small town of soybeans, corns, and pork. There wasn't.
That sounds. My mother grew up in a town like that in Smithton, Pennsylvania. Population
Wow.
300, tiny.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
but the brewery that her father, my grandfather, owned. Stoney's beer. That was it. That was all.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, I just put on sparkly shows because I had nothing else to do. There's nothing else to do. So,
Chris, forgive us. We'll be right back. We have to go to a commercial break. Can you just hold on 1 second?
Yeah.
Wait, here we go.
Gumbo. It's soup with jazz. And Healthy Choice makes a wild one. It's called Zesty Gumbo. Chicken, sausage, lots of flavor, and a lot less sodium. That's Healthy Choice. You get yourself a big bowl, and you let the good times roll.
Oh my God. I was like 23. Oh my God. That was 30 years ago. Yeah. I was adorable. Look how adorable I
You were
was.
so good.
Oh my God.
Okay, here. This is what I got. Was it a buyout, or are you still getting residuals for like 39 cents?
Yeah. No. I mean, it's not a buyout. I did get. That was a very lucrative commercial for me.
Oh, I bet.
And it was just me and this fantastic commercial director. I can't remember her name, but we had the best time. But I literally had 25 bowls of that sweet and zesty chicken gumbo, healthy. After a while, it wasn't even gumbo anymore. It just represented a big bowl of puke. It was just awful. It was just awful.
Healthy choice. And I believe you also sold early cell phones. Take a look at this.
Life gets so busy, you need something to help you balance it all. Bell Atlantic Mobile has what you need. Real wireless value. Like a BAM 330D digital phone for only $29.99 after rebate. And our newest digital choice plan with 200 home airtime minutes for just $29.99 monthly access. Plus 1 year of free weekend home airtime. For all that and an unbeatable wireless network, go to a Bell Atlantic Mobile communication store or call 1-800-443-BELL. Bell Atlantic Mobile. It's for you.
Oh my God. Where are you getting these?
I have access to your archives.
Oh my God, that's amazing! I forgot about that one.
Did you? So you must. So you before was it? Now was this all pre your first Broadway show?
I think yes, it was. Yeah, I was
doing pretty well as a commercial actor.
I was doing very well, and that one in particular was very lucrative too because I had to do it was the Bell Atlantic. Remember Bell Atlantic? But it was the whole East Coast. So I had to do a voiceover for every single market from Maine down to Florida. And so every time he did it was a session fee and it was all. So I did that every month. So it was like, woohoo, money. It was great. But I did a lot of commercials but after a while, Patrick, you may have done commercials and auditioned for them. And
I didn't. And I'll tell you why, not because I wouldn't have. I never got one. I went in.
Yeah.
And they were like, and I just didn't, whatever that thing was, I didn't have it.
Well, it was a crapshoot kind of thing after a while. I mean, I did very well right away. And then, but it's the grind of it is because you just go in, you don't know what you're doing. It's all improv, usually. So you go in and then after a while, I was like, well, this is kind of humiliating. And here's the last commercial audition I went into. They wanted me to take off my shirt and get on this table and wash myself and rub myself with a dry bar of soap as if I was a grizzly bear. And as the lather happened on this soap, it turned me more into a human man. So I'm standing on a table in a casting office with my shirt off, rubbing a dry bar of soap on my body. And I thought, you know what? I think I'm done. I'm done.
That's it.
I think I'm done.
It's so funny. You just answered the question I was going to ask. What was the weirdest thing you ever had to do in an audition? That probably takes the cake, I'd say.
Well, it's weird too because you get to know, of course, these casting directors, and they keep calling you in, and sometimes you have 5 to 6 commercial auditions a day. You're just going bing, bang, bang to casting office. It's just crazy, which is great, but also in a way, you just never know. You're never prepared for anything, so it's just kind of like show up and see what happens. And the clients are bonkers. The clients are the people who are buying the commercial or whatever, and they're awful people. And I was doing this commercial, just a real quick story, but I was doing this commercial for this new board game. And it was called, it was top secret, so we couldn't talk about it. It was called, now I can talk about it, but it was called Planet Hollywood, the board game.
Oh, wow.
So, and it was like the new game for Christmas, so it was really top secret. So they sent us to Philadelphia to film this thing, and they sent us all in a room for 2 hours to learn how to play this game. It took us 2 minutes to learn how to play it because it's a stupid game. It's dumb. It's dumb. And there's no way to really lose, and there's no real way to really win. It's just kind of like, let's celebrate Planet Hollywood. Anyway, so I had to turn to the camera. I had to turn to the camera and go, Schwarzenegger. Like, that's the answer. Like, Schwarzenegger. So we had a big key light up at the top of us, just lighting the table, and there's a light, the camera's here, and I just had to go, Schwarzenegger. And then there's just a black curtain, and the client is on the other side of this curtain. He says, could you tell him, okay, yeah, great. So I did 35 takes of this, Schwarzenegger. And after a while, he's like, he's just not getting it. And I just yelled through the curtain, I can hear you. What do you want? The commercial aired about 20 times, and people didn't buy the game because it was stupid.
They wanted Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno.
It was, oh my God. It was just, anyway. So, yeah.
Well, let's move on to your Broadway debut, Beauty and the Beast.
No, I have to back you up there. You said 12. It's actually almost it's 14 shows.
Oh, it is.
There are two that I count that I think that I count. Paper Moon.
Tell me what they are, because I'm going to dock Julie's salary right now.
Paper Moon.
Oh, yes, I know Paper Moon.
Yeah.
I know that show.
And technically, it was my Broadway debut because I did sign my Broadway contract, and my name was on the theater, the Marriott Marquis. So I do count that. And so that was going to be my Broadway debut, but we closed out of town. And then A Christmas Carol, too, at the Paramount, which was also a Broadway contract. And so I count that as well. But yeah, it's 14. I know,
right,
crazy.
But let's get to the role that really matters, shall we?
Okay.
Gaston.
Is this the one of the roles? Oh, my God. Look, it's Nick.
There he is. Wow.
You guys, that's Nick Jonas.
No, it's not.
Nick Jonas. That's Nick Jonas.
You're kidding.
No.
Oh my goodness. Was his hair red?
No, it's a wig.
Oh, it is a wig.
But
okay.
yeah, he was one of our chips, and he was just the best kid. He still is, but Nick had this amazing, well, he still does, but this amazing belty little boy voice.
Wow.
And
so he was a chip. It's like Sarah Jessica Parker was an Annie.
Yeah. Look at him now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you love? Did you? By the way, did they have it in your contract that you had to stay in shape to play Gaston?
Do I just stay in shape? Well,
in shape?
You'd be embarrassed if you didn't.
Yeah.
You'd be, no one wants a dumpy Gaston. No one eats like Gaston. No one drinks like Gaston. No, I have the curse, I guess, not a curse. I can put on muscle everywhere except my biceps.
Oh, I know.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Do you have that too?
Well, I get, what it is. I know I can get biceps. I just don't get them. I can't get them the way I like them. They're like baseballs.
Oh.
But I want them to be like
you
softballs.
want them to be long and
like softballs.
No, I had to work on my biceps every single day for a year. And I finally got them. But also the suit, even if you do work out, the suit they put you in is padded, even though you may have a rocking body, which I did. But they have pecs, and it's built to make you look amazing.
Right.
But if your arms don't match it, it's really sad, because you'll be like, I've got this big, beautiful body and these little arms. So I worked out every single day.
So it's like a Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, like, my dad said, you'll never get biceps. It's part of the family. I'm like, come on, Dad. Come on. I can do it.
Okay. Chicago.
Okay.
Here it comes. All the parts I should have played that you got. Billy Flynn.
How? Look at that.
See, I could have even fit in that suit.
You could have.
Fantastic.
I was so much bigger then. Wow.
Wow.
I was a big boy then. Why didn't you play? Why didn't you play?
I know this is serious. Like I mean, I've screamed at Barry Weissler 100.
You're
and
perfect
I liked
for it.
Barry. I did Annie Get Your Gun for. Why I've never done that part in that show is
You're
truly
perfect for it.
I even now, because George Hamilton did 90 or whatever he was when he did it. But I'm saying I go, this is like I was made to do this one. This is one of those ones I don't have to stretch a lot. I'm kind of a scumbag lawyer. I'm okay at it.
Great. You'd be perfect for it. Yeah, I've done that. At the Ambassador. I've done that show 6 times.
It is. What a great gig, though.
It is.
Like they go to Chris.
Yeah.
They go to Chris. That's great.
Yeah. I've been so blessed with that. Like Barry and Fran Weissler have been so great to me that way. But the way they ask you to do their show sometimes, especially Chicago, once you've done it, that's it. You never get a rehearsal ever again.
All right.
So the last time I did it, which was years and years and years ago, Barry called me, which is great. He's the producer of the show.
Yeah,
It's not the casting director. It's Barry. And Barry says, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" I'm like, nothing. He says, "Would you like to play Billy Flynn?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I say, "Okay, I'll see you tomorrow." That was the offer. That was it. I showed up yesterday. I showed up the next day. Kevin, the wardrobe supervisor, slapped my old tuxedo on. It fit. And off I went. And I did the show. And, it's one of those things where your muscle memory takes over because you've done it so many times. But even though it's been years since I did it last, your body, you hit that spotlight hits you. And it's just like, first of all, it's jarring as hell because it's just all black and all darkness. You enter in the blackness, you enter in the darkness, and then the spot hits only you. And you're on a staircase at the top of it. And the light hits you and you're like, is everybody here? Is everybody ready? And you're like, oh my God, I forgot about the spotlight. Oh, geez. And then you do your song, but your body literally just takes over. It's crazy. And the funny thing is I've actually, because the rotating door of that show, I've done it with Charlotte Dambois a lot and as Roxy. And I think it was that last time that I did it. I didn't know who was playing Roxy at all until we had a scene, until we were on stage together. And I think the line is like, either you get the $5,000 or I'll see you rot in jail before I even bring you to trial. And then you sit on the piano across from Roxy. First time I ever saw this woman. And we just did the scene and then backstage we're like, oh, hi, you're wonderful. You're so good.
Well, you are obviously. I mean, that's a great. Brett Barrett had that same kind of gig with on the West Coast or on the. They just put him in.
Yeah, Brent and I have been.
That's the greatest job in the world. You guys get to go.
Brent and I have been lucky that way. They keep bringing us back, and that's that. We're grateful for that, and it's it's actually a wonderful place to work too.
Well, maybe the two of you can make a call on my behalf.
I will. I'll call him. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Can I do it live? That'd be hilarious.
So one of the 2 shows you've been nominated for a Tony Award, you were unreal in Shrek.
Thank you.
And there you are. And tell me, to this day, how are your knees?
Oh no, Patrick, the knees are fine because it was DreamWorks and they have billions and billions of dollars and they have no problem spending it. And we developed because it was my fault. It's all my fault, by the way, that I'm on my knees. It was my idea. It was my kind of, I came in with 2 little shoes on sticks like Charlie Chaplin did, in that movie, and they laughed. And then we said, let's do this. And so Tim Hatley, our designer, and I came up with this thing that we did. But the knees, we used catcher's gear.
Yeah,
put like little balls on it, but they kind of didn't really work. So we had to design. I literally was a designer for a while too. We designed these things, but the spongy stuff that they used on my knee was this viscoelastic weird stuff that apparently came from the space shuttle.
God.
This is what they told me. Who knows if it's true, but it makes sense. Because apparently in the seats of the space shuttle, when they put you up in the air, this crushes down, but it won't completely crush, during the G's of launch. So, but it was good. It helped my knees, and my knees were fine. It was my shoulders, it was my neck, it was my hip.
Well, let's take a look at your
Oh
knees. Gosh. Watch this.
And here's the man who made it happen. That towering colossus of moxie, Lord Farquaad.
Oh, it's you! What a terrific surprise. Once upon a time, this place was infested. Freaks on every corner. I had them all arrested. Hey, nani, 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 no. And so... things are looking up here into luck.
Let's take a look.
The things I'm cooking up here into luck.
He likes to cook.
A model that amazes, a plan with 7 phases. Things are looking up here into luck.
They're looking up.
Into luck. Here into luck. Hey, let's hear it for those do-luck dancers. Aren't they terrific, huh?
My gosh, it is genius. Chris, in California, I was an artistic director for a company called 5 Star Theatricals, and I got to produce that show. And
Yeah.
And with
You asked me about it. You had asked
that's
me.
right. That's right.
Right.
That's right. I approached you to reprise your role, and it's my favorite show actually that I've ever produced. I love that show. I love it.
It's really well done, and it is really, Jason Moore, when I was doing Spam-A-Lot in the West End, Jason Moore, our director, and my very good friend, that's my bird, by the way. I have a parrot, and she likes to be part of the conversation. So if you hear that, it's not a fire alarm or anything. Don't be alarmed. Jason emailed me while I was in London and said, hey, I'm doing this new thing, because Jason always asked me to do weird things. And he said, it sounds weird, but Shrek the musical. And I said, that's a terrible idea. and then we did a reading when I got back, and it just clicked with me. Farquaad just clicked with me. And David Lindsay-Bear and Janine Tesori, I'd worked with Janine Tesori before, and Jason Moore. I didn't know David, but David they were all so exquisitely collaborative and let me go and run and create so much that David just kind of let me go. And also Jeff Katzenberg as well, just like, I don't know what to do with you, so just keep doing what you're doing.
The other thing is, how tall are you?
I'm 6'2", and I was 4
foot. You're a big guy. You've got shoulders, and you're like.
Yeah, I think I was 4.5 feet tall in that costume.
Wow.
And that costume with the cape and everything, with the rig, what we called the rig, with the things just strapped to your knees and everything, and the puppetry and all that other stuff, was about 50 pounds. Because Tim and I were at the costume shop, and that cape that I was wearing had 1 billion Swarovski crystals on it. And a cape was really heavy. But comedy hurts sometimes. And incidentally, I just want a quick story about that. That was the Tony Awards. And I refused to watch that for the longest time, because you can see it at the very, very beginning when I come out of the elevator. I trip. I trip. Now, it may not seem like, so I never noticed it. However, from that point on, my brain was blank. I don't remember doing it. I don't remember being at the Tony Awards. I don't remember any of it. My body took over because I was so terrified, not of the 6,000 people at Radio City, but I could never go to a gay bar at Musical Mondays ever again, because they'd play that clip over and over again if I ever. So
it didn't hurt your performance.
It didn't, thank God, because when I was like, I was just like, oh, I don't even know it, because in your brain, of course, as a performer, the time that you screw up is probably like a millisecond, but in your mind it's 40 minutes.
We don't. We never remember the good reviews, the great reviews. We only remember the one time we messed
Or just
up.
the screw up, or just like what's my line? What's my line? And it's only a second, but it seems like an eternity.
Le Cage au Fond. Here we go. Boom. Another part that you played and I didn't get to.
You'd have been amazing, George. Look at this, my dear friend Harvey.
There he is. Oh my gosh, look at
We
that.
had the best time.
Well, he told me. I mean,
Yeah.
and he says it. You're in his book. We talked about that.
Yeah, I'm in his book about the whole thing. There was a story I was going to tell actually when I was with Harvey, but it was his show, so I was like, I'm not gonna. But so this is what happened. It's in the book, Harvey's book. I Was Better Last Night. Get it now. It's amazing.
It's great. It's amazing.
I was going to go back into the show Chicago on Broadway, and I was going to go get my ticket at the box office to get it to refamiliarize my show because it had been years. And I get a call from my agent, said they don't want you to see Chicago today. They want you to go see La Cage aux Folles, which is one street over. And I was like, well, that's weird. Okay, fine, whatever. So I go see La Cage. Have no idea what's going on. I go see La Cage. He's supposed to be opposite Jeffrey Tambor. Jeffrey Tambor's nowhere to be found. My friend Chris Hoke, the understudy, is on as George. Fantastic. It's wonderful. My friend Harvey's killing it out on stage. He's kicking ass. So naturally, after the show, I go to his dressing room and say, hi. I go, knock, knock, knock. He goes, and I open the door. He says, oh my God, grabs me, throws me on his couch, slams the door. He's dressed in like a white robe and a turban and everything. And he's still post show. And he throws me on the couch. He said, are you going to do the show with me? I was like, what? Are you going to do the show with me? What show? This show. Jeffrey, this is funny. Jeffrey Tambor just up and left. I had one night stands that lasted longer. And I said yes right there. And 7 days later, I was opposite my dear friend and hero, Harvey Fierstein. And he was, we've known each other for a long time. And the chemistry between us was unbelievable because not only did we love each other, but we were very close friends. And when you get to play, lovers and partners together, when you trust each other exquisitely, the chemistry was outrageous. Okay,
so then I can only ask the greatest question of all. What was it like kissing Harvey?
It was great. Oh, it was so nice. Well, he giggled all the time. A giggle monster. That's the thing. He was just like, but Harvey would always. I think I may have said this when he was up, but he played a game. It was like, what flavor is Harvey today? We'd put a Jolly Rancher in his mouth and kiss me, and I'd be like, oh, lemon lime, oh, watermelon, and that was fun. And also, we did at the curtain call, we would walk up the stairs because I said, you know what, we should remember Sonny and Cher when they used to walk up the stairs at the end after I Got You, Babe. Let's do that. And he was like, I love it. So we would just get up off the stage and just walk up the stairs like Sonny and Cher did.
Oh gosh. You can. All right. Okay. Let's this you're going to find interesting. So television. What was it like working with the Olsen twins? There you are.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. It was surreal, to say the least. I guess because it was my first pilot ever, right. And it was my first time in that world, and it was the first time that I did a pilot with the Olsen twins, and I'm like, I'm working with the Olsen twins. This is crazy.
Well, I have something to show you. Take a look. Okay. I played their dad too.
Oh my God! See, now you got a role I got.
Exactly. I was gonna say, here's a role that we
look at us. Look at us. Yes, I got them right after you, I think.
Yeah, yeah, they were a little older.
Yeah.
I shot. It was a TV movie that, of course, their Empire produced.
Right, Dual Star.
And it's an Empire.
Yeah.
Were they having the lines sort of fed to them?
No.
They were really young at the time.
Yeah, they looked like that. No, they knew their lines and by then, and they were delightful. They absolutely delightful. And but the pilot was such a surreal experience because we're there at Warner Brothers, the lot, the Burbank, the big one, the one that you see in the movies, the crazy. And there we are. And then I'm on a television. This doesn't happen to a kid from Minnesota.
Yeah.
And there I was and doing a sitcom. It was weird. And then when you get the VHS tape of the pilot, they send it to you before pickups and everything. I'm watching myself on this sitcom with the Olsen twins, and it's just like it's a fever dream. It's so weird. And then we got picked up, and then I did a series, and then it was like a series, and then
you were making television money.
Yeah, I know. It was weird.
Did you? For me, well, I got to do. I did a couple sitcom series, but one I got to do with my family. Sean produced it. He was the executive producer. I played opposite David. My wife was the choreographer. My brother Ryan worked on the art direction team, and it was amazing. And do you? I don't know about you, but I think doing a sitcom, especially for a theater actor, is one of the greatest gifts any actor could have. It's a gift.
Oh,
because you get to laugh all week.
Yeah.
Yes, they pay you very well. You get to laugh all week, and then you get to do it in front of an audience.
Yeah.
And it's what a dream job.
Yeah. And especially the theater actors know how to wait and know which word to punch and
right.
it's not only fun, but it's very easy, I must say. It's because you're doing a play and it's the same character, just in a different part of the play that continues on. So, and it's just a blast. It was such a blast. And the single camera shows are not as fun at all because it's all hurry up and wait. And
I went to a screening in their like 8th, 9th, 10th year of Cheers. And none of the Woody Harrelson was on the show there, and Tenn, all of them, and none of they were messing around. They didn't even realize their thing because they knew their characters so well.
Right.
The writers were just like, "Here's the line, go," and they were it was a party, just a party.
Yeah, I asked David Hyde Pierce about that, because he was so like 11 seasons on Frasier.
Yeah.
And I said, so what is that like after a while? And he said, well, we kind of just showed up and walked around.
That's right.
We did our own blocking. James Burrows was their director, but they knew. He said, I know Niles would enter the door and he has to go get a glass of sherry, so that's what he would do, and and the camera would just follow. They got it down to 3 days a week.
Oh gosh, it is a dream. So tell me, how many times did you audition for the franchise of Law and Order?
Oh my God!
Actor Christopher Sieber lands a role on Law and Order.
Isn't that
finally. So, tell me what this is all about. This is hysterical to me.
So Warren Light, and then but then it was Dick Wolf actually back in the day when I first auditioning for it. John Mulaney does a great bit about Law and Order too. If you ever want to listen to John Mulaney, the comedian, he's like, I was also auditioning for the guy constantly unloading crates. I was that guy. Ramirez, yeah, I know the guy. Why did something happen to him? And it was after my 20th audition for Law and Order, and these were like little small. They were 10 lines, maybe 12. And just put me on. It's only 10 lines. It's fine. And after about the 20th time, I literally looked at Dick Wolf in the face and I said, are you ever going to hire me? And he laughed and he said, maybe. And I left. So they kept on calling for me to come in. And I said, no, I'm not. You've seen it. And then they just called and said, hey, do you want to play this part on Law and Order? And that's what happened.
Oh my gosh. Chris, I have exactly the same story about CSI. It wasn't as many times. I auditioned 11 times and I never got cast. And I went in for like the 11th or the 10th audition, whatever it was, the last one. I went in, I didn't get it. And then a month later, when I got an offer to do CSI, and I didn't have to audition.
Yeah.
This was the part. It was the same thing.
Yeah, and it was a part too. It was good 2 weeks. I mean, it wasn't just like unloading crates. It was actually the star, so it was quite something. But so it was finally. But I had that in my bio,
Oh, you did.
At the very end of my bio in the playbill, it said because if you read a playbill bio, everyone says SVU or Special Victims Unit or Law and Order and Law and Order Crimes Against Humanity, whatever. But I had nothing. I had all these other great sitcoms and things like that, but Law and Order was elusive to me. And so my very last line is like, Mr. Sieber has not appeared on Law and Order. That was literally in my playbill bio.
Oh my God. Well, you're gonna have to change it. Tell me.
They did. And I requested, they ran a line through it. And Playbill said, we've never had this request of it. It's like, could you put a line through not? And they're like, what? It's funny. People will get it. It's funny.
Can we take a look at, Julie, can you please bring up his Sardi's caricature?
Oh, look at that. That's my husband, Kevin, too.
Oh, that's Kevin. How long have you guys been together?
We've been together 20 years. Married 11.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that great? That was such a surprise. And it's kind of like, the Broadway Walk of Fame in a way. It's what an honor.
I was just in New York a couple weeks ago. So look at this little. There's my wife and I pointing at mine.
Oh, look at that.
Now, there's a lot of lights there, but Chris, if you look, if you go directly to the back, if you walk in the doors and go straight back, that's my father at the top left.
There's Sean, and there's your mom.
David. Then you go down, I'm me, and then my mom's right next to you. We're all like the Barrymores, but we're the Cassidys.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
That's great.
It's an honor.
Julie, if you put that mine up again, I just want the signature there. It says, thanks, Sardis. Such an honor. So my friend Haven Burton was one of my guests, and she was like, what? Suck it, Haven? She read it wrong. She thought it said suck it, Haven. Like I'm an afternoon. I said, such an honor. But I looked because I have terrible handwriting anyway. Suck it, Haven.
By the way, Kevin and you, I heard your favorite state is Hawaii. And do the two of you own an island?
We still do own an island. Yes. There's the island. Yes, there it is. That's let's see. What are you looking at? Oh yeah. So the part on the left there, that's the house I'm in right now. That's just what we call 39, and then the island is right here on your right. The green roof is what we call the guest house, and the lighter roof towards the bottom is the main house where West we live. I was just out there today. We're getting ready to open it for the summer. We close it down for the winter.
And tell me, what do islands go for these days?
This one wasn't expensive. And it was the two houses on it were just they were falling into the earth. They were almost tear downs, but we restored them completely. And it's been 20 years. It'll be 20 years in October. And
that's right.
But you're never done. You're never done. But it's a lovely place, and we call it, our lake is called Tamarack. And when people come here from the city, it's only 45 minutes away. And it's so idyllic, and people come out.
It's in the Stockholm area of New Jersey.
Yep. Yeah. And people come out here and they from New York, and they're like, oh, it's so far. It's like, it's not. And they come here. We're just going to leave. We're leaving in the afternoon. And I'm like, fine. And then they stay 4 days.
Yeah, exactly. It's tranquil.
We call it getting tamaracked.
You once said, tell me, are you serious that you would like to own a theater and produce? Is that something that you appeal to?
Yeah, in a way, I would like to produce it, and direct. But I spoke to someone.
I'm getting ready to retire, Chris. I'm telling you, here's your chance.
I know nothing about running a theater. I could definitely. It's such a cliched thing to say, though. Too is like, I'd like to direct. But they're saying, when I teach kids, it's basically directing, and getting things out of people in performances I'm very good at. And the one thing, the technical aspect, I don't know anything about. So that's something I want to learn about as far as directing. But I have a fantasy, of course, of having a fantastic, Judy and Mickey kind of like, I've got a barn, let's put on a show kind of idea. But I don't think that's going to be possible. It is a fantasy. But as far as direction goes, yes, I think I could do that very well.
Oh, you'd be great. You'd be great. By the way, do you have, this is just a side note, do you have your own like cabaret one-man type show? Do you do one?
I have a couple. I have, the first one I did was years ago, and it was called Minnesota Boy Does Well.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically, it was a review that one of my English teachers wrote about me in the Forest Lake Times, a local newspaper. He was so proud of me for moving to New York City and, pursuing acting. And I was 18 or 19, but literally the title was Minnesota Boy Does Well.
So you stole it for your cabaret.
I stole it for my show, but it was kind of more stand up and music than because I really don't like the whole idea of cabaret unless you're really kicking ass. And the whole idea of it is like, we're going to save the world with musical theater songs. Don't like that. I don't like the ballady, breathy death songs. I like something funny. It's comedy. Keep it light, keep it funny. So those are my shows. And the other one we did during the pandemic at Birdland, and I created my own audience. Very famous people. I made cardboard people, and I filled the audience of Birdland, where people were doing this, but they were just doing it with like their accompanists. I had built the amazing Billy Stritch as my accompanist and musical director. And so I said, and I was watching other people's shows, and I'm like, there's nobody in the audience, and that's so sad. There's no applause. Let's make it like I'm a crazy person with a bunch of dolls, where, this weird fantasy that you're in this. So that's what we did. And the director who was filming it all got the bit, and he would do close-ups because I would mention people. I was like, oh my God, Barry Manilow is here. And he'd do a close-up of Barry Manilow, who I have a cardboard cutout of Barry Manilow in the seat, and Gene Simmons from Kiss, you guys.
Oh,
there. So,
well, I last May, when nobody was going to the theater, Studio Tenn and Tennessee Performing Arts got together, and I brought them the Broadway Cabaret. We put it in their big theater, 1,000-seat theater, but the audience was on the stage at little tables, right? And then we raised the orchestra pit 3 feet, turned the performer around facing the back wall, so it was like a 54 below vibe.
That's cool.
We had Norm Lewis, we had Shoshana Bean and Adam Pascal and Susan Egan, and now we're going to do it again, and we've got Kristen Chenoweth coming, we've got Judy Kuhn. So I'm going to call you.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you and say, if you're available, please come and do.
How many songs you need?
We need 70 minutes. 70 minutes.
Of me? All just me?
Just you. Just that kid from Minnesota.
I got to write another show.
That we're getting close, but tell me about first of all, Spamalot. Here's another one. All the parts I should have played that you
could have done any of them. You could be Arthur. You could be
Arthur
Galahad.
I could do Arthur now. Arthur would be fun.
You could do Arthur. You could be Galahad. You could do Lancelot.
Yeah, I'd love. And talk about. Look at that lineup of guys. Okay, who's the funniest, Chris?
The funniest out of everybody?
Those guys, how do you say who's they're all ridiculously funny people.
Well, so David is, of course, David Hyde Pierce is just wonderful, and he's very funny. He's very sweet. He's the kindest person. He's the one person that I like to model my life after because he's the best person ever. Right. Christian Borle, who isn't pictured in there, is one of the funniest people on the face of the earth.
I've worked with Chris. He's unbelievable.
Jim Curry, he's like the sly, Cheshire cat wherever he is. So he's always got a dirty secret. Steve Rosen is a brilliant writer and songwriter, and he's got the other Josh Cohen, and he's brilliantly funny. And myself, the thing is, during the show, we giggled for about a year and a half. We giggled on stage to each other every day, every performance, and we would be at the feet of God. And I'd be right next to David, and I kind of we're still giggling. He says, "Yes, never stop." I was like, "Oh, we won't." But Hank was the one that you could make laugh Easily. Easiest. He would break character like that. And Christian Borle and I, especially during the big father scene, the Prince Herbert scene, where I played Prince Herbert's father, and I was unrecognizable actually because I was just covered in fur, and I was a different person. But we didn't have to say anything. We just had to look at him. And so there were times I burst through the doors and I would just turn around and look at him, and he wouldn't know what to do, and he would just laugh. So we could destroy him. We called him the wounded antelope on the prairie. And we could always get him. And he was like, "You guys are terrible."
I told you we play a couple games of this show. I am going to respect the fact that you have a little voice thing, but we do play a little game. You played it with Harvey and you did very well. So we're going to do it with you. It's called Remember the Lyric.
Okay.
It's a song that you sang from a show you did. A lot. And I'll start and I'll point and we'll go back and forth. Here we go. Ready? Once in every show, there comes a song like this.
It starts off soft and low and ends up with a kiss. So here's a song that ends like this.
Perfect. That's all I wanted to. You see, by the way, you could be at the theater now. You sing right over it. You have no problem.
The good thing about Sondheim, especially, I have to thank Charles Kimbrough, who originated the part, because he doesn't have an A flat.
Oh no. But you do.
I do. I have. Yeah.
You have. I've always thought your range is crazy. Do you have a B?
Yeah. I never tell people though. Never tell people.
I know.
Never tell them
because then you have to do it 8 times a week.
Well, that's what happened during prom. Matt Sklar, my friend and composer, he was like, "Hey, what's your?" I was like, A flat, and he wrote 8 of them. Like,
yeah.
Baby.
You are a delight, man. Just to talk with you, and again, thank you, Chris, for to do the show. You're amazing, having COVID and being out of your show, and thank you so much for being a part of this. And
no, my pleasure. The voice is the voice. I know it's going to come back, so it's fine.
You're going to be fine. Last game, we played another game called You Become the Host.
Okay.
And you get to ask me one question, any question you want. I'll tell you, Patty Lupone asked, Patrick, how many women have you bedded?
Of course she would.
And I said only one of any significance, and that was my wife.
Okay. So I'll ask you this. Did you and your brothers ever fight, and what was the biggest fight you ever had?
Oh, it's a great question. Yes, Sean and I specifically.
Yeah.
So Sean and I specifically, we were the closest in age. And the way the story quickly goes was he used to tease me incessantly, but I was bigger than him and got bigger than him quicker. So it was right on the cusp of that. And I came down and he came downstairs. I was watching television with the clicker, and he came and he grabbed the clicker and he changed the channel. I'd been there for 30 minutes. And I said, "Hey, I was watching that, right?" Grab the clicker back. He says, and he changed. He says, "If you change that back again, I'm going to beat the shit out of you." That's what he said. Right? So I said, right. And he comes in and jumps on me. We're starting to fight, and I've got it, and I'm doing, and I'm taking him. And all of a sudden, he starts to pull my hair, and I'm going, "What? You're pulling my hair?" And I'm pounding up at it. Boom! The phone rings. My mother was out of town. Phone rings. It's my mom. I run upstairs, right, and I'm down on the phone, and he's downstairs on the phone, and he says, "Mom, Sean's beating me up. He took the remote control from the thing. He's being so," and she starts laying into him. "Sean, you should do this." "Yeah, Mom," and he's just pissed because I beat him up and he pulled my hair. Boom! The phone drops, and I hear he's running up the stairs. "Mom, he's coming again! He's coming back to get me! He's coming! Jumps across the bed, goes at it again." So yes, we had fights for time, but nobody's ever asked me that. I've never told that story.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Anyway,
that sounds about right.
Yeah. It is. You are a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much for doing this.
Patrick. Thanks for everybody watching too. Thanks.
Yeah,
Support Studio 10, people.
Wait! Before you go, my mom is calling me. Would you like to hear her voice?
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Hello, Mom. Hello. Mom, say hello to Chris Sieber. Chris, say hello. Say hello to Chris Sieber, who's on the show. Say hello.
Hello, dear. Hello. Your son's a psycho.
He says, your son's a psycho. Mom, are you having a martini? No martini. A glass of wine. Good.
Good for you. Yes.
Well, Mom, I love you. I just wanted you to say hello to our incredible guest.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, you're watching our show now. Isn't Chris a good guest?
I'll take it.
All right, I'll
Thank
call you
you.
in a minute, Mom, to get the review. I love you. Bye-bye. Instagram at Chris Sieber Christopher _ Sieber.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm a very lazy Instagrammer. I'm a very lazy tweeter, and I barely post on Facebook anymore. So, but I'm there, you know.
You're amazing. Have a great one, my friend. Get well fast. Give my best to Miss Lapone in your show.
I will as soon as I get back. I think I'm back Friday or Saturday. So
take care of yourself. Thank you, Chris.
all right, Patrick. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Buddy. Jules, come on back and let's wrap this one up. It's a good one.
Such a good show.
Wow.
Ugh.
I could have done another hour with him.
He gives good interview. Christopher
Wow.
Sieber gives good interview.
Yeah, I know he's funny. All you got to do is go watch him in anything, and he's hysterical. But to talk with him and hear his stories, and he's just it's just what a dream.
He's great to work with too. He and I did hair together for the Actors Fund. That's
yes.
where we met.
Do we have a little photo of that?
Let's see. I think. There's a photo of because he did a duet with John Tartaglia.
Oh yes, there he is. Yeah.
And let's see if there's a.
And is there a photo of you? I believe too.
I might have one. Let's see.
There
me.
you are.
Yep, I stepped in for Adina Menzel that
I
night.
was going to say you're doing your Adina Menzel.
No, literally, she was supposed to be doing this.
By the way, and everybody else in the show is naked.
Yes, everyone's getting naked, and that platform that's at the New Amsterdam Theater on Broadway, and that that hydraulic lift is going down as everyone's taking their clothes off, and they do end up naked. So,
how about my mom calling him?
How about your mom? I love your mom.
My mom turned 88 on March 31st.
She's incredible. She's an icon. I love her so much.
So do we have anything to wrap up for here at the end of our
just a reminder that Broadway's Big Top is happening very soon, just in just a few days. And
April 9th, Saturday, 6:30. There's still some tickets available, but you better go grab them. I'm telling you, it's going to be an amazing evening.
And then Camelot. Yeah, Camelot. Philip McKinley is directing that. Pretty exciting. Yeah. So super cool. And then also if you want to donate to Studio Tenn Talks, thank you, Christopher, for helping to plug the show. And there's our little QR code. Just hold your phone right up there and give away. No donation.
If you like tonight, folks, and go back and watch some of these interviews, these people, these guests. What a dream this show has been. And Julie Garnier, the producer of A Lifetime.
Oh, thanks, friend. Happy to do it. Happy to be here.
Well, Jules, love you. We will see you next month, and we have a very big surprise guest.
Can't wait. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.
Good night, everyone.